my name is Numbler Jr. and I am here with Musa. I can call you Musa or Prod Musa?
Musa, yeah.
Yes, Musa. They are a rising star that I have been honored and blessed to have heard. I think I've seen them like all around the NYC area, but they are always just showing up for different artists, very versatile with where they listen to their music. But I'll say this right here, right now. The music that you're making, absolutely freaking incredible. Hello, for one thing, their song Rest is on Halcyon Sound Volume 2. So yeah, noticed by someone as big as Oolacile and with a few of their friends like Hugh Watson, Jed Will, Phonon.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And because we're here at the Knitting Factory, and they're helping out with Torr with their Molecule show. Is this the like show debut of your debut album 111?
Yeah, I'm playing most of the songs on there, except for two. But yeah, I guess for the most part, I'm debuting. This is the first time I'm playing a lot of those songs. So.
And this is like the first time I'm ever seeing them play live, but for the first time ever.
Really?
I'm not kidding. I've only been hearing the music through the sound waves, but never have I seen Prod Musa themselves perform live. So, first of that is this. I've seen some of the pictures, some of the footage from the Halcyon show. How did it feel to be playing some of your music and being noticed by someone as pretty big as Oolacile?
Well, it was crazy because I like that was 2 years ago, and I felt like I had so much at the time I felt like I had so much to prove to myself going out there. I'd never been to LA in my life, and there was a lot of people that I was friends with online but never had met, like Jed Will being one of them. We never met and stuff until that show. And it was like a scary feeling because I was around a bunch of people who, when you first meet anyone, you really don't know there's no obligation for anyone to really fuck with you. So the only thing that was going on in my head was I really just wanted to put on a good show and kind of just make a small mark for myself there at least. And that was super dope. Cooper Oolacile actually had reached out to me way before the show, and we had been chopping it up on Discord and stuff like that. So, and he's been one of my homies ever since. Every time he's in New York, Cooper, if you're watching this, I love you, dog. You're the best.
Is there a possibility you might see him here?
No.
Dang it.
He lives all the way in Vegas. So,
okay.
Yeah. But he was gonna be here earlier in the summer, but hopefully he'll be out here again soon. Such a good dude. That's
hopefully.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite people ever. So.
And also I have to give a little shout out to Phonon as well, because I had to interview him as well and he talked very highly about Oolacile and how he basically, I'm not gonna say saved his career, but really helped him propel himself to so much bigger heights.
Oh my God,
it's the reason why you see Phonon so much, not only through Halcyon, but him being a big freaking headliner for so many shows.
Yeah, I definitely I feel the same way. Oolacile really Oolacile and the Halcyon gang, all of them really, they put me on the map in a certain way, especially within the dubstep community too, which is that's where I have so much love for that music too. Even though I don't necessarily make it as much anymore, it's I don't feel I wouldn't have been able to find myself or what I like about music if it wasn't for them and stuff. I was actually crazy too. I went to the Glaive show last 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and some kid wearing a Halcyon hat came up to me and was said hi and what's up, and I thought that was so cool. It brought me back to a time, and I'll never forget those times, 2021 and stuff like that.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Halcyon. Thank you so much, Oolacile, for putting a spotlight on this incredible being right here. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, okay? I'm telling the truth. I say it like it is. When I see beauty, I gotta talk about it, and you, Musa, are no exception to that. So I'm just being honest here. But tonight is the night where you say you're going to be showing off a lot of your 111. Do we say just like all 3 ones or it's 111?
No, 111.
Just 111.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just curious to know what, first off, I gotta say this right here, right now. Shout out to the people who helped you out with the album as well. Like, we have 5 people I have to make sure we thank. Of course, we gotta thank Torr, the headliner right now. You're working on a song with him. We gotta thank Supe Andreas, who I've had a chance to meet a bit here and there, and I was introduced to him through Monster Cats, absolutely tore it up. Not only with the song Tumbling Down, Melatonin, Sprite, and of course, his debut in Rocket League with Hours with Inverness.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But also we gotta give love to Gabby Start. They helped out with you as well.
Yep.
We gotta give some love to, I don't know, a certain someone named, I can't remember his name. No! I don't know. I did my research. I know. Give me a second. Help me out here.
Are you thinking of someone who? Are you thinking of Sticks?
Sticks.
Sticks.
I'm gonna say.
Franco.
Oh my goodness. I did not forget you Sticks again. Crash Test Dummy.
Yep.
I know.
And Can of Bliss.
And Can of Bliss.
Yeah,
that was the last one.
Yep.
And those were the 5. But my apologies for the blackout there.
Oh no, so
I am so sorry, Sticks and Can of Bliss. I love you too, so forgive much. But those were like some of the people who really helped you out with this album, and I feel like with Sticks in particular, you guys, that wasn't your first time like working together. It was your first time in the rodeo. You guys have done a lot of incredible music together. Your recent one being Stalemate, I believe.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to like? What is it like working with someone as incredible as Sticks, who I learned about thanks to Webcage, thanks to Forum.
Yeah.
But what is about you and Sticks that like you guys just make magic together?
Well, like, you know, this is like one thing that I love about like making music, especially with your friends. I feel like it's like me and Franco Sticks, we chop it up all the time. Like I'm always either at his crib or he's at my crib, and I feel like that fosters a lot of like good and genuine music making, and we've always been like into the same sort of music, always like kind of pushed each other. And like same goes for like everyone else too that helped on the album, like Supe Andreas especially, like, and Torr, Gabby, like it, and Can of Bliss. I feel like for me it's like when it comes down to making music, it's like with your friends, it always adds like a certain level of like magic to it. Like, I think that's really what it is. And Sticks brings something crazy to the table every time we're in a session. Like he knows what to do to make things fire. So
I'm just curious to know. So with 111, is this like 10 tracks of just you just like expressing to people like how you feel about like certain stories in your life, or because I feel like for a couple of songs it really kind of struck a chord. It will still strike a chord to so many people listening. I feel like 2 in particular that I love a freaking lot has been Luna, and the other one being Pirouettes, and the Ghost of Harmon Street. I'm Not Scared of the Dark Anymore. So I feel like those 2 in particular are like my top 2 favorites, along with Crash Test Dummy and The Way I Hold with you and Torr. I'm just curious to know, well, first things first, like, are there any how do I say this? Are any of those like those stories, like feelings that you had were like real at the time, or you just wanted to like try and capture a feeling that you want people to feel?
They were real moments in my life, very, very real almost. It's funny because a lot of what I wrote about on that album revolved around this like one person in my life 2 years ago that kind of like.
Can we say their name or?
No, I won't say their name just for privacy's sake. But they basically it was just a person I was in like this like very short but intense like relationship with, and that kind of like fueled a lot of, because at the aftermath of all that, like it kind of fueled a lot of like things to talk about. The story goes, I was dating this person, they moved to Texas, they were living in New York before.
Reason why that song, do you want to hang in Texas?
I went to Texas and got ghosted in Texas. That is the text message, the last text message I had sent them. And then maybe like 2 weeks later, I did the Halcyon show. And then I came back to New York and was kind of like, just like not knowing what I was doing. I had like moved on, started like seeing other people and whatever, but like that stuck in my head for a while, and it's funny. I ended up, I think like early 2022, after making Texas, which I recorded like December of 2021. I put Texas out, and then I actually started talking to that person again while they were like living in Texas, and that's kind of how Pirouettes started, and then followed by like Luna after. It was kind of like just me being really down bad for this person who I kind of knew that I would never really see again. And yeah, so a lot of the songs kind of followed that, and then by the end of like a lot of the songs I was making, like in the album, it started to like transition into like, because I was like moving past those feelings I had over that person. So a lot of the songs that I made like towards the end of it, like Crash Test Dummy and Leap of Faith, and Full Eclipse, those were kind of just
The Weight I Hold.
The Weight I Hold is about that same person too. But yeah, like those songs kind of were more of like a me kind of just like trying to like build my self-confidence again from the ground up.
So now that I think about it, and now that I like read the titles, I kind of see like each bit is kind of like a moment in time of how you were feeling at a moment in time, and then it's kind of like, it's almost like the 5 stages of grief, where it's like you felt that anger, you felt denial, and then the whole bargaining and the depression, and then it seems like the last few songs maybe kind of speaks about acceptance.
Yes. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
So basically, you could maybe call it like 111 parentheses the 5 stages of grief.
No, for real. That's like you really hit the nail on the head. That's kind of how, when I was looking at like all of the songs, and there were more that didn't make the cut, but those songs in particular, it really felt like I had done a whole like anger denial, all that shit, and then like bargaining, and by the end of it, it was a lot of acceptance. And then the reason why I put Weight I Hold was like, at the end was, even though that one isn't like fully acceptance, it was more so of like a reflection of everything. And so I guess to a degree it's still acceptance and all that, but yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the head there.
Right. It's just maybe that's the reason why, like you said, you were like seeing other people. Like now I have to ask, especially with some of the lyrics I read, especially through Pirouettes, I think to myself, like, what is your mindset now when it comes to love? Because you say a lot of time in the chorus, falling in love is like Pirouettes. One foot I'll fall again. Piggyback up, I'll say, yeah, the silence is killing me. You say you're guilty, but I'm still bad by you. So I'm curious as to know the thing, like, what makes love like Pirouettes? Why do you say that?
Well, it was more so, back in the day, it just was, it was so easy for me to fall for someone. So a pirouette is like the ballerinas, they do the spins.
I was thinking it's like it's ballerina analogy.
Yeah, so what I meant with that, it's like it's so easy to like fall in love. You can lose your balance, and like you could go through like a whole spin cycle, like, and just like kind of just like get really caught up in things very quickly. And that's kind of how I felt with like my take on like love and shit like that back like last year and stuff. And I'm in a way better place now, which is funny. Like I'm definitely like I'm in a happy relationship, like my partner is the best, and like definitely have not felt like those like extremely intense emotions.
So can you say that thanks to this relationship with that one person, and like taught you you felt some things, but also taught you some things about how to do love, or to love again better with the next person?
Yeah.
It's based. All I'm saying is that was this kind of like your thank you next type moment.
It was kind of a thank you next, but it's funny because like there was so much of that bargaining at the time. Where it was like I was talking to this person because I was like in the back of my head, I was like, they did me dirty and we ended things, but like I also miss them, and I missed them, past tense, like I was longing for them. So that's how like all those songs kind of, it wasn't really a thank you next, it was kind of like a thank you next, but also I still want you, and it would be dope if we, but like,
if we could reconcile.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I
did see those words in the lyrics as well. I saw reconciliation.
Yeah. And exactly, like I wanted to like fall in love again with this person, because those feelings at the time were like, something I never felt before, shit like that.
Understood. So now I'm just curious to ask you now, what do you maybe this is a very cliche thing to ask to people, especially when they're like, in love or in a couple. What's the most important aspect when it comes to keeping a relationship strong?
Well, okay, I want to preface by saying I've how I said 2 seconds ago, I never felt anything like this. I feel like I've found someone right now that I've also never felt that way before about where it's the relationship I had with this person 2 years ago was an intense, fleeting kind of love, whereas this one feels intense but trusting and secure.
I was say structured.
Structured. There's a foundation. There was a friendship that was built on this relationship first, and I feel like that has been really important to me, and I think maybe that could answer your question too.
Right.
I think what is important is that you genuinely are this person's friend before you're dating them, and I think that's an important thing. And also things like being trusting and trustworthy and honesty and just being able to communicate things as they go. I don't have all the answers, and I don't know what the future holds in the sense, but I try to always put my best foot forward in this relationship. I try not to be petty. I try not to do not nonsense, no bullshit on my end. And if there's a problem that I have, I try to communicate that as healthy as I can. And also we're humans, and we can't blame ourselves for having, for example, unhealthy thoughts or getting unhappy or
unhealthy or intrusive. All that makes us human.
Yeah, as long as you communicate them properly, there's no for example, a lot of people feel bad that they get jealous sometimes, and this is a good example I like to use. I'm not really a jealous person, but hey, every single person gets jealous here and there. And instead of acting on that jealousy or acting passive aggressive or not knowing how to do it, you can go to your partner and be communicative and be hey, I'm feeling a little insecure, I'm feeling a little jealous, you've done nothing wrong, but I'm feeling like this right now. And a lot of times they'll just ask why and what, and then you can talk through it from there instead of turning it into an argument where someone has to be on the defense and someone has to be on the offense. Stuff like that, where it's unhealthy thoughts or unhealthy things can be still communicated and processed in a healthy way. I feel this day and age, we're told a bunch of things, especially online, where it's people with not really good relationship advice will be telling you yo, if this person does this piece, which a lot of times they're valid, but I feel
looking for the red flags.
Yeah, where it's yes, but you also don't want to fucking starve the joy out of your relationship hunting for red flags. You should just identify the red flags as they come up, because they will show themselves. The red flags are very obvious and stuff like that. So,
we have a special guest. Hey there, Torr. How are you guys?
Sorry to crash the interview.
No,
it's fine. I just want to tell you, Torr, thank you so much for your help with Musa and their debut album. You really are freaking incredible. We love you so much.
Yeah, we love you, Torr. Torr, you want to take the seat while I hop to?
I gotta work on something with.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
That would have been cool, but thank you, Torr. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask this as well. Thank you so much for your insight, not only on love, but also about this incredible debut album. I'm just curious now to know, I'll ask anyway, what might be next for Musa? Because I'm thinking, now all this was 5 days of grief, you had this relationship with this person that was intense in a bad way. Now, will the possibly next 2 singles or album maybe be more positive a bit, or will we still be entering into?
I think so.
Okay.
I think the last song I made for the album was called Leap of Faith, One-on-One.
Right.
And that was kind of a declaration to my friends and the people that I love, that I'll I love a hero's journey almost, being an underdog or
I want to say hero or underdog.
Yeah, and so I don't come from money. My family's not wealthy at all. I don't have any. I started with no musical connections, nothing like that. I'm really kind of ground up, and I feel a lot of music as a healing journey for me is kind of nurturing the inner child, and that's kind of what Crash Test Dummy and Leap of Faith are about, which is I want to be able to look back on my times of pain and be I'm a better person now, and just reinforce that notion. And I think that will be a lot of the themes of the next project, but also who knows what happens experience-wise. If life hits me like a train out of nowhere tomorrow, some shit happens, that might fuel some of like the themes of the next project. So.
Understood. Whatever music comes next, first of all, I'll say right here right now, just take your time with it. Like, make sure it is like to your approval, and you really enjoy it. You feel like this really expresses how I feel, and I want people to hear this if they're interested in, like, my life, my feelings, the mind of Musa.
Yeah.
So I'll just say is that I'm just very excited, and just as a fan of your work for a couple of years, I am sitting here eagerly awaiting the next Musa single to come out, or EP or album, I don't care which. Just know we all are pretty hungry for some Musa in the future.
Yeah, thanks,
and I just wanted to tell you right here, right now, thank you so much, not only for just expressing your feelings through the debut album and through some of your singles, but just like being real, like, letting us really think about, I wouldn't say, yeah, just let us think, let us feel, but also some of your lyrics, some of the things you were talking about through your music, is almost like a teacher to me. Because, let's be honest, I'm single, I have no intention of, like, finding love or whatever, but I always think, I'm very open-minded when it comes to hearing stories, hearing people's experiences, and, like, thinking to myself how it possibly could be, or how it should be in my eyes. So hearing some of your songs, hearing some of your stories, has really opened my eyes, really opened my ears to other things out there. So I just want to say thank you so much for being the catalyst in that, and for even helping me out, which is what the power of music should truly be. It should not only make us think, feel, dance, whatever, but I'm a person who's a sucker for lyrics. The reason why I love Torr, I love underscores, I love sticks, I love Can of Bliss, I love all these artists, because it's not just catchy beats as well, but you guys are really pouring your heart out on the plate for us, and I really do appreciate it so much. So I'm just curious to know, I mentioned what's next, and you said, like, there might be some things coming, and you're just gonna take things how they are, but I'm curious to ask just one thing. With you working with people like Torr and Styx and Can of Bliss and Super Andreas, I mean, even Gabby Start, could there possibly be an underscore collab in the future? I'm sorry for mentioning their name.
No, it's okay. I don't know. Hey, if you're watching this, I'm down. I know they're rolling out an entire project right now, so
Wall Sockets. It's like this, like their second, their third album. Because we had skin purifying treatments, then we had Fishmonger, then there was Bonemonger, connection with Fishmonger, and now Wall Sockets.
Yeah, I love her music. I think she's like truly a visionary, and she's doing stuff that I feel like is like really important for a lot of this music in the scene. I can't say anything like that for now, but hey, I'm a big fan. I love her music, and I feel like, look, if she's ever down, I'm fucking down as well. So just say the word, and I'm come right. Hell yeah. I do have to start my sound check.
Understood.
I
was about to wrap it up anyway.
Wrapping it
I
up?
was.
Okay.
I usually end my interviews like, what's next for this artist, so we can see what might be coming next in the future. Because who knows where you might be 2-3 years in the future? Who knows that maybe Musa will be the name in shining lights? I'm waiting for that day. But Musa, thank you so much for showing us your music, letting us come through this journey with you. And all I can say is just that Musa is one of these artists. I mean, like we said, Oolacile Halcyon, they know this their name, so that should be good enough for you to check them out and experience their music, because it's quite the journey. All I'm gonna say is it's quite the journey, and I can hardly wait to witness them perform tonight for the very first time ever. No, I will be in the front row, just taking it all in. Musa, thank you so much, and thank you guys so much for watching and listening. This is Level Junior signing out. I love you all so much.
Bye, y'all.